Ever get that throbbing knee pain after a long ride on the bike? You've tried rolling your quads and IT bands, but still can't manage to get any permanent relief. I've been there, guys, and I've found a more effective way to make long-lasting change. Stay tuned, because I'm going to show you the simple stretches that will get those knees functioning the right way. What's up, guys? Matt Pippin here, and I've been a strength and mobility coach for over 15 years, helping over 1,000 professional, collegiate, and everyday athletes move, feel, and perform at their highest level. And what most people don't realize about the knee is that it needs to be able to rotate. Yes, the knee is capable of rotation, and if it's unable to perform this action, bad things are sure to follow. As a cyclist, obviously, your foot is locked into place as you ride, and your hips are moving all over. If your tibia can't rotate, you're going to start putting undue stress and tension on your knee. So today's coaching is all about increasing that rotation. Now the first exercise we're going to do is a quick mobilization drill from the 90-90 position. Now this is a simple way to create more rotational capacity. Now the 90-90 setup is a little complicated, but it's just making sure you are comfortable here. So typically with the 90-90, we have our right leg out in front of us if we're going to attack this knee. So whichever one you're going to attack, that's the one you're going to put out in front. And then the back leg is typically, the top of it is parallel to the bottom of the front, and then you have this nice line. If this is way too aggressive here, you can just simply untuck that leg and sit like so. So your left leg's out to the side. Just make sure you are comfortable here. That is the most important thing. Now, what we want to focus on here is just below your patellar is your tibial plateau. So that's that big old bone. If you tap it, I mean, it's solid as a rock here. We need to get him to move. Now, I know that's crazy, but the knee does have that rotation that I was talking about earlier. So just kind of watch, and if you focus right here, you're going to see this bone move probably about 10 to 20 degrees back and forth. It doesn't seem like a lot, but if your knee is really pissed off, this rotation is the first thing that goes. Once it goes, it's all downhill from there, okay? So we want to take the left hand, grab the entire top of the foot, you're going to pull the toes up toward your kneecap, and then now from here, I'm still pulling my toes this way. Now I pin it with my right hand, and I'm going to pull up. And you can see that little bone start to move. And so all I'm doing is just manually pulling up. So this is pulling that tibial into what we call internal rotation. So if I pause for a second, internal rotation, external rotation. And don't worry, we're going to learn this drill here in a second, but we want to make sure it can move first. Internal and external. So if you're pinning that knee down, you're pulling up into internal. Now, I like to do about 20 of these, and I'm just getting my knee to move. This is usually a very foreign thing, and it's probably one of the more complicated things to teach people, because myself included in this, I didn't realize the tibia was meant to move like this. I thought your knee just flex and extend like everybody else, and I deal with some serious knee problems. Now a lot of stuff's calmed down because I finally understand that we've got to get this rotation piece. So I'm just going to get about 5 more here, and I'm just pulling up, and I can just see that bone moving back and forth. Good, last one. And on the last one, I like to kind of pull up and just get like a nice little stretch here. Now, I don't want to get too much ankle. If you're feeling this down here, you got to pull those toes up in this way a little bit more. You don't want to have your ankle, like you shouldn't be able to see the bottom of your foot like that. It's pulled up, and I'm just pulling up and holding this nice stretch position. So this kind of preps it for what we're about to do next, because next up, I'm going to show you guys how to control this action. And it's one thing to have a range of motion, it's another to be able to control it. Now, learning to control the rotation of the knee will allow the body to relax, and that pain will slowly start to dissipate. Now, I prefer to do this exercise sitting in a chair, but you could always do this sitting on the floor as well, and I'm also going to show it in a lunge position. It does not matter what your position is, as long as you get the function in the knee. So we're going to do that same leg. So I'm going to come up to what we call just kind of half kneeling, so it's like a lunge position. And so you have to really think about here, like imagine there's like a rotisserie skewer running down through my knee, through the tibia, through the floor. So my heel and my knee cannot move. They're just going to rotate back and forth. You're going to take your fingers, start on the inside and outside of your knee, right in the heart of it, and then drop down. So if you can see, I'm probably, about 4 inches down. I'm on the inside, so you'll feel that big old ridge. That's your tibia, and when you're out here, that's your fibula. The fibula rolls around the tibia, but they should all be able to move. And from here, I lift my toes up a little bit, and I'm going to use my fingers to push and pull my knee out to the side. So this is external rotation of the tibia. And when you do that, you should have felt this bone move. You can even kind of look over and see it. Now, take your outside hand, push it back across. But you don't want to see those. You don't want to see your ankle roll like that. The bottom of your foot should not point up at your face, otherwise that's ankle stuff. We want to keep it all here. You're not going to go that far in, especially if this is kind of your bum knee. You're just going to have a nice smooth range of motion. But feel the bones moving underneath. You don't want to just move your skin. You want to feel the bones move. And we're just going to go about 10 reps each way, nice and slow. So another good tip my buddy taught me was, once you feel like you can do it without your hands, have your hands kind of hovering on the outside of your knee, so that way your knee doesn't move. And kind of think like your hands are like electrical walls. You don't want to shock yourself. Because when you get good at this, you're going to start to realize this comes from your hamstrings. So your hamstrings are kind of like these slings. So if I pull my leg to the outside, it's like my outer hamstring pulls, my inner hamstring relaxes. And then when I go to pull it in, the outside relaxes, my inside activates and contracts. So you see how it's kind of like these slings here. When you get good and you start to feel it in your hamstrings, that means you've got really, really good control over your tibial rotation. So like I said, you want to do about 10 reps of these each way, nice and slow. Now, utilizing these exercises back to back will get your knees ready for those big rides in no time. I recommend performing these at least 3 to 4 times per week, preferably before riding or any other activity that involves the knees. For the first 2 weeks, keep the mobilization to like 20 reps and maybe like a 60-second stretch, and the rotations to 10 reps each way. After 2 weeks, increase that mobilization to 30 reps, the stretch to 2 minutes, and the rotations to 20 reps each way. From there, simply increase the stretch to 3, 4, and 5 minutes, and the rotations to 30. And for more of my favorite mobility exercises to bulletproof your body, click the link below where you can get my 3 must-have mobility moves that I use every single day. It's free, so check it out. Now with that, if you found today's coaching helpful, give me a like or a share so I know what tips you guys want to see more of. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you're not missing out on all the awesome content we have coming your way.